Alright guys, it's time to talk about Uniswap for the first time since June the 10th. That is actually this candle right here, as you see, this very large candle. Now, we did have this flag actually play out, and it did reach the target. You can see it almost reached it exactly right there, guys. However, since June 11th, we had some downside, and we got a bounce on about the 22nd of June and started working our way back up. So we find ourselves right now, guys, just hanging on to this, $7.30 mark on a weekly time frame. Now, keep in mind, it is Sunday now on, Bitcoin's watch. So we need to think about the candle close tonight. And if the weekly candle is above $7.30, then excellent. That means that this will become support, and the next resistance will be $7.88. So let's see what happens today. Hopefully we do close the weekly candle. Let's see. Let me just get the weekly candle here, and I can zoom in and show you this, guys. But basically, it's hanging on by a thread. And yeah, if we can close above that, that is excellent, guys. That shows that, last week we did close above it. We retested this, and we retested several supports here. We even retested this trend line. Now, let me show you this trend line as well. So, yeah, this is kind of a new trend line that I have marked, and it's basically, it extends back to the 7th of May. So you're talking about almost 2 months that this has been hanging on to this trend line. We've gotten a couple of bounces here. And yeah, so far Uniswap is not looking too bad technically. Now, taking a quick look at the volume, guys, you can see the point of control sits at about $6.82. We are sitting about $7.30, or about 50 cents above that at the moment. Now, once we clear, what is this, about $7, let's just say $8. It's kind of hard to see, guys. Let's just say $8. It goes down very rapidly with the volume here. Now, the next candle here, once we get above about $9.65, the remaining candles are quite small. I think we will rip right through that, guys. But yeah, you can see up here on the side that the volume just pretty much goes down, except for a little bit of a hump right here. But yeah, it's, looking good for Uniswap when it comes to volume. Now, looking at the Bollinger Bands, guys, you can see that this is coming down pretty heavily right here, this blue line, and this blue line is coming up. So I do think this is, pretty much in for a pinch. I know it's a little bit hard to see with all these green lines, but yeah, it's something about as wide as here, almost, I would say. It may be even actually, we can say thinner. It's not so thick as it was here. So you can see we did get a little bit of a pop there. And I think that's what, is in for Uniswap, really. And that pop took us up to about, what is this, like $18, almost $19, guys. So let's see if that happens or not. Now, if we go to the daily time frame, it is actually pretty narrow here. It's not as narrow as this, where we had a little bit of a pop up to about $8.72 or so. But it is pretty narrow, but it is kind of going sideways. It's not really pinching. So on the weekly time frame, it does look better, I would say, when it comes to these Bollinger Bands, because they are coming in together. They do want to pinch each other. Now, taking a look at the MACD, guys, you can see on a weekly time frame, we are getting some green candles here. We also have the blue line crossing the red line here. So this is a pretty good sign. It does look like it wants to continue going up, in my opinion. And yeah, you can see it can go all the way up to about 10, let's just say 10.5, and it's sitting even under 0, guys, so it can run a long way, but it hasn't run that far in quite some time. Basically, it's gotten up to 2, and yeah, then it's fallen back. So let's see what happens here. Now, on the daily time frame, let's take a look at this too. If we really zoom in, it looks like this blue line has just crossed the red, so that's actually pretty bullish. We are getting a couple very small green candles here. It's really hard to get in and zoom in here, but you can see it is green. So on the daily, on the weekly, it looks fine with the MACD. Now, looking at the RSI and the stochastic, guys, on the monthly time frame, it doesn't look too bad, actually. The RSI is kind of flat, though. But not too bad. It's right in neutral territory. Now, the Stoke is just getting out of the oversold territory and pointed heavily to the upside, so that's actually pretty good. The weekly time frame, We have kind of a mixed signal here. It's kind of slightly pointed down, but right in the middle, guys, here on the RSI. Stochastic is a little bit overbought and may start to come down here in the short term. Now, the daily, it is actually pointed down on both the stochastic and the RSI, but it's not overbought or anything. It's not even oversold. Still in neutral territory, but again, it is pointed down. 4-hour time frame coming pretty heavily to the upside on the stochastic here. The RSI is slightly pointed down, so again, another mixed signal. Now, the 1-hour time frame, again, just came out of the overbought territory on the RSI. The stochastic is still overbought, but coming down. And on the 15-minute time frame, it is actually oversold. So I do think it's going to curve up here in the short term. And the RSI also pointed down, so not too great, really. I would say for the most part, I do think probably Uniswap is due for a little bit of a cool down if we take in all of this information, guys. But again, in the long term, I do think Uniswap will probably go back, to almost its all-time high, if not its all-time high. Now, taking a look at Uniswap in the tokenomics, guys, you can see it's the number 35 coin, and there's 1 billion max supply, guys. Keep in mind, only 600 million of this is circulating, and the all-time high was down here at, $45. So you're getting about 84% discount. Now, I usually say that, they're probably not going to make it back to its all-time high when it's sitting about 84% down. However, if any coin could do it and break that trend, and break my mindset, basically, on coins that can't really break their all-time high if they're so far down, it would be Uniswap. I still think Uniswap is an excellent project, and it still has a chance, to break $45. But again, it does have a long way to go. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, please check out some of my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have exchange partnerships with Bybit, Bitget, MEXC, BingX, Bitrue, BTSE, BitUnix, WeX, Blowfin, BTCC. I also have Moodix here, guys, that you can get a free 7-day trial. And you can follow me on X here with this little handle. Now, if we jump into Bitcoin real quick, we can see that it did hold on to this support here at 107,758. It did get a green candle yesterday. Now, today it has just started actually, so we do have a small red candle. So let's see what happens today. But it is a Sunday, according to Bitcoin. Of course, it's still Saturday where I am in the US right now on vacation. Now, if we do take a look at Ethereum, also, kind of a similar situation. It actually did hold on to this support at 2506. That's actually a great thing. Now, it did get a green candle yesterday, getting a small little red candle at the moment. But again, it's still very early in the day on Sunday. Now, looking at the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, guys, you can see we did get a small green candle here yesterday. We do have a small red candle today, but we are still stuck under 1.14 trillion, unfortunately. Now, if we take a look at the dominance, guys, yesterday was a small red candle, basically indecisive. Today it is getting a green little candle here, so let's hope we can get another red candle on the dominance, guys. Now, USDT dominance, it actually had a red candle yesterday, so people were spending their USDT. It hasn't actually broken this trend line yet. Let's see if it does. Maybe this will, keep riding along this trend line. And we need to break the 4.31% dominance. Now, the altcoin season index is a 27, guys. I did refresh this earlier today too, and it went down from a 27 to a 24, and again back to 27 tonight. So, that is actually looking pretty positive, pretty hopeful. This is tied, of course, with the Bitcoin dominance, guys. So, even though we had kind of that little tiny red candle on the dominance, yeah, we did get a big jump here on the altcoin season index. So this is nice to see. We haven't been this high in a while. We haven't been up here since like May, guys. So that's a couple of months. So maybe there's some hope around the corner. Taking a quick look at the liquidation heat map, guys, you can see that there's only about 70 million that have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. Pretty much more longs, though, than shorts. But this is a very, very, very small number. It's very tame, we can say. Now, if we look at the fear and greed, today it is a 66. Did come down 1 point from yesterday. Next update is in about 21.5 hours, so there's a lot of time to go. Now, bull market peak indicators, even though we saw dominance on the other chart over 65%, it actually has it only registered here at 64.66. So not sure what it's taking it from, but if it's more than 65%, that is one of the indicators according to this. However, that is not a great indicator in my opinion. The best indicator would be the pi cycle top indicator, which is this, guys, and it needs to cross. So again, the green line is pointed, up, I think, and the orange line also is pointed up, but these two have to cross, and it's going to take some time. Now, next week, if we look at the economic calendar, guys, it's pretty empty. Only on Tuesday do we have New York Fed one-year consumer inflation expectations. Also, consumer credit. Wednesday, pretty much nothing except the FOMC meeting minutes. That will give us a little bit more insight on whether they plan on cutting or not. Now, jobless claims also is on Thursday. We do have a couple of speakers that day, but not too important. And Friday is dead, just like Monday. Monday is really nothing too, guys. Now, if we take a look at the FedWatch tools, again, 95% chance we're not getting a cut this month, but there is still a 5% chance that we will. And if we look at the, trueflation here, it's 1.95% inflation at the moment. So again, I keep, saying this, but what is the Fed really waiting for? I can agree with Trump on this point, guys. And I am not a big Trump supporter, as you know, on this channel. But hey, when you have 1.95%, really, in reality, what are we waiting for with these cuts? Everybody else is cutting. Now, looking at crypto bubbles, guys, it does look pretty good on daily and the hour, guys. Uniswap is up 6.3% at the moment, so that's not too bad. Now, if I look at Coinando and I type in Uni, we can find Uniswap here. So let's see how many deals they have. Yeah, 21 deals here, guys. Do your homework. Check out, everything that you need to know, especially, like, for example, if it's 360 days and you have to lock it up. I wouldn't recommend it just because you don't know what's going to happen a year down the road. But if you plan on keeping Uniswap for 10 or 12, 15 years, whatever, yeah, okay, lock it up for that. Now, keep in mind there are limits as well. And, me personally, I'm looking for 30 days. Maybe I'm looking for flexible at this point, but definitely not more than that, really. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends, and like I said, check out some of those exchange partnerships below, guys. And if you use my links, of course, I do get some commission, but that helps me, keep going. It helps me keep motivated. It helps keep me running this channel, guys. And yeah, if you want to have a membership with my channel, it's only $2, guys, and I will put you in the Telegram. And you will get the Moodix notifications, guys, like here. And immediately when news happens, you will know what happens and how strong that news is. And anyways, guys, thank you a lot for your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.